to see and hear about these kids committing suicides. Boyfriend and girlfriend holding hands and writing a letter and then turning on Nirvana music and jumping off a cliff in Pacific Palisades, things like that we're coming across regularly. And to this day, I still get emails from young kids, like you said, that grow up and they're listening to Nirvana music that their parents are playing and stuff. They get into Cobain, they read about his history, and most of what the media says is that he committed suicide, and they still have that suicide mind until they come across the website. Somebody tells them about it, and then I'll get an email from a 13 or 14-year-old kid saying, wow, I'm looking at life totally different now.
Tom, you remind me of real-life cops, but also, TV, the classic plot where a cop is on a case. He knows what he feels. He has the evidence, and then they tell him, no, the case is over, or, or we're taking you off the case, and he can't. He knows too much. He can't. It's in his blood. That's what you are. You come from that background. You're not going to let it go because she fired you. You come from law enforcement.
Well, that's another misnomer. Courtney Love never fired me. I heard that said someplace else on the Internet the other day. And I heard it on the news, too. She never fired me. You don't fire a private investigator. In fact, after I sent her a letter indicating that I was suspicious of her, which you'll see on the Internet, instead of calling me up and yelling and screaming, and I told Rosemary Carroll, her attorney, that I'd sent that letter. She's going to be livid. She's going to freak out. Well, she wasn't. I was expecting that angry phone call from her, but instead she called me up and was sweet-talking me, and she started hiring me to do other cases for her. And that was her cat-and-mouse way of, keeping tabs on what I was doing and staying on good terms. She never even brought up the letter that I sent to her. But she wanted to keep me busy, too. And I think she assumed that if she kept me busy and if she kept paying me really good money, that I'd let this go, because that's what most people do. If you can continue making a really good living off of somebody that's got a lot of money, then why would you, shoot yourself in the foot?
Tom, let me ask you this. With a little bit of time we have, and a lot of the tweets are all really want to know what's going on in her mind today, what's some of the latest things she's doing. I know you kind of keep up. I don't keep up with Courtney Love, but what's her life like today, and how old is her kid?
I think Frances is around 16 or 17.
16.
And yeah, I don't. I think people assume that I follow every move that she makes and read every article and all that, but I don't unless somebody emails it to me, and then I do. Right. I do know that recently she's claiming that the figures always vary, but in different articles she's claiming that she's had, close to $40 million stolen from her, and in one article it said $500 million in real estate, and another article said $750 million in real estate. And to that, and she says she has attorneys looking for all these assets and trying to uncover all this. And all I can say to that is, Courtney, show me the police report. That's a crime. It crosses state lines. The FBI would jump in on that, and money trails are the simplest thing in the world to follow. That's one of the easiest crimes to solve. So show me a police report where you've documented this. You can show the police, real estate transactions. Give me a break. Yeah. If this is true, there has to be a police report. It's a crime. She doesn't need to pay attorneys to handle it. The police will handle it on their own. It won't cost her anything.
Now, this is unbelievable. Well, finish your point, but
I think what she's preparing for, I've always suspected that she's not going to allow Frances, her daughter, to have $40 million when she turns 18. Something's going to happen. I was always afraid that Frances would get in a, quote, car accident or something, but there's just no way. I know Courtney well enough that there's no way she's going to let her daughter, especially if she's going broke, her daughter have $40 million.
How much money?
Enough, this last article says it includes Frances's trust fund is gone now.
Oh, you got to be kidding.
No.
And she just had a suicide birthday party for her daughter?
Yeah, her 16th birthday party was put on at the House of Blues in Hollywood. And there were articles and photographs and stuff. And somebody, the idea was to win a prize for the best costume to look the most dead or something like that. I mean, it was really sick. And that's the way Frances is brought up.
And how much money did she get from Kurt Cobain? And does she continue to get money when people buy Nirvana stuff?
I'm assuming she does. I know she sold off, I think it was 25% of the Nirvana rights a while back for $40 or $50 million a few years ago. Again, I was suspicious then that, she's got to try to get money back in Frances's trust fund pretty quick here. But then she's run through that too, apparently. But I've never read anywhere or heard anywhere where she doesn't still own the rest of the rights. So I suspect that she's still going to have money coming in, although, she's trying to make people feel like she's flat broke and lost everything.
I got to ask you a question about her psyche here. Now, when somebody is zeroing in on you like you were with her, she never broke down. She kept that whatever. Maybe it was the drugs, but she continues to move on, and it doesn't bother her. Her conscience, nothing. What do you think it is? What makes her tick?
She's really a very typical psychopathic liar. I'm having trouble with the words now.
You're doing good. I don't think I can say it right now. Liar. Psychopathical
liar, I think.
Okay. You got it.
That doesn't sound right to me. I wrote it right, but it doesn't sound right there. And a sociopath. I really don't think she understands feelings. And when you consider the fact that her biological father is willing to go public and accuse her of murder, and in the film Kurt and Courtney, he gets in the camera and says, "Take that, Courtney," or something to that effect, like he hates her. And, you got that in the back of your head. She is the exact type of personality, and I think it was inherited, unfortunately, that doesn't have the feelings. She can turn them on. She's a great actress. She can cry on a whim. I've seen her do that. I've had her do it when I was talking to her on the phone, and then I'll say something to break her train of thought, and immediately she's just normal again and talking normally. So I know she's very good at turning that on and off. I saw her do it on the Barbara Walters interview, too.
Well, I'll tell you what, Tom, let me use the little bit of time we have here to give out those vital things people are emailing and tweeting about. Go to CobainCase.com. And if you go to Twitter.com, I'll have the link where you can watch the documentary on YouTube. Just go to Twitter.com, search If It Rocks.